After dinner, we stroll among the narrow tangle of hutong alleys that make up old Beijing. The warm summer evening feels festive. Families sit outside, trying to escape the close heat of their tiny, traditional courtyard homes. Men, their pants rolled to the knees, t-shirts pushed high to expose solid bellies, smoke cigarettes and turn to stare balefully at Claire's tall and sleek figure. Bicycles whiz perilously close to pedestrians, and everywhere the air is heavy with odors. Garlic, grease, and other grubbier smells. We wind our way through the slender alleyways, and suddenly the quaint village atmosphere disappears, choked off by a vast avenue that teems with bicyclists and honking cars. Claire stops abruptly. "I'm supposed to meet some friends," she says. "But if you're too tired—" Her voice trails off. "I'm exhausted, but don't worry about me. I can find my way back to your apartment." "It's your first night," she says distantly, before hailing me a cab. As I climb in, she leans over me to give the driver directions, kisses my cheek, and closes the door. "See you tomorrow, Iz. Sleep well." As the cab speeds away, I see her chatting and laughing on her cell phone, her whole face alight with animation. I remember those abrupt mood swings from my childhood, along with something else. Claire has always hated Peking duck. Why did I move to China? I still don't know. But if I think back, I guess it all started one Friday night. The kind of New York winter evening that features seeping cold and flesh-freezing winds. As I sat at the kitchen table of my friends Julia and Andrew, sipping Prosecco and watching the sky turn to a deep, hopeful blue, I couldn't help but wonder if I could blame the biting winds for freezing my life. "I think I'm having a quarter-life crisis," I announced, and pushed a bowl of pistachio nuts across the kitchen table. "I think you're a little old for a quarter-life crisis, Iz. Unless you're planning on living to 120, said Julia gently. As my best friend, only she was allowed to comment on my approaching advancement into my 30s. "It's my job," I said glumly. "If I'm not photocopying, I'm babysitting. Today, I finally finished making copies of Nina's articles from the past 6 months. "Your boss's clips?" Julia interjected. "Why didn't you send them to the copy shop?" Nina said no one could match my photocopying talent. Apparently, I make the cleanest copies in the entire company. "You should mention that at your next review," Julia said with a smile. "Anyway," I continued, "I just lugged everything back to my desk when Nina shows up with Nicky, her son. She didn't have time to take him home between his Jungian and Freudian therapy appointments, and so she asked me to keep an eye on him." "How old is he?" asked Andrew incredulously. 6. I sipped my wine. He ran straight into the men's room, and I had to coax him out. I went in there and saw Rich taking a leak. I'm not sure who was more surprised. "Isabel, Rich is a bastard." Julia calmly refilled my glass. "I know he's a little unreliable." My voice sounded uncertain, even to me. "But he's interesting. He knows a lot about art and books and wine. He speaks fluent French. And you work together. He dumped you in the conference room, for God's sake." "Come on," I objected. "We're still seeing each other." "You mean sleeping together. You deserve more. You're not going to get over him until you cut him out of your life." "We both work in journalism. We have the same friends. He's everywhere." "What you need," Julia twirled the stem of her wine glass, "is an adventure. Someplace different, where you can totally get away." "Yes," said Andrew, wrestling the cork out of a fresh bottle. "Like Paris. Everyone speaks French there." For a moment, I imagined myself living in Paris, strolling down a bus.